Hey friends, welcome back to my channel X Stitch and Chill. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming to spend some stitchy time with me and check out all the progress on my projects. And if you're new here, my name is Kelsey and this channel is all about cross stitch and the chill things that I do while I'm stitching, mostly watching TV or movies or listening to audiobooks. So in my last video, I mentioned that I was teaching a cross-stitching class at a local art thrift store, and that happened last Sunday, I think, 2 Sundays ago, and it was super fun. We were supposed to have 5 people, but 2 people ended up getting sick, so we only had 3 people, one of which was my sister, the other was her friend. But we still had a really great time and everybody left feeling successful. My sister finished her little dinosaurs. I'll put a picture in if I remember. And yeah, and I know that one of the other person that I didn't know ahead of time, she is actually on the board for the store. It's a nonprofit, and she didn't send me her finished dinosaurs, but she did pick up a kit from the store, from that shop, and she's working on that. And I love that I've made more little cross-stitch minions. So hopefully I can teach there again. It was super fun, and I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody's progress, and hopefully people get really excited about it, and I'm sent all these crazy cross-stitch updates from them. And then that store shared another store's Instagram page. It's called Fancy Tiger Crafts, and they have a ton of classes going on. They have like sewing classes, so I think I'm going to sign up for one of their sewing 101 classes, because I would love to know how to sew as like a practical thing. And I'm just not good, and I do better when like I can do it at the same time someone's like talking to me and telling me things. So an in-person class would be nice. I don't have a sewing machine, so they have sewing machines there. And then they have like days where they have like knitting help and crochet help, and you just bring in your project and you can get help with it. They have sewing help days, which Recreative, the other store, also has those. And there's just like tons of classes for all sorts of different things. It's primarily like a knitting, crochet, sewing kind of store, so a lot of the classes revolve around that. But I really want to go to some of the sewing classes so that I can learn how to sew. Like more than just like, I can't even sew a straight line. If you watched my Instagram reel when I was hemming jerseys for my husband, like it was bad. I mean, the jersey material wasn't helpful, but it was bad. So yeah, I need to learn how to sew something. Also, if you missed it in my last FlossTube video, I have made a spreadsheet, a Google spreadsheet of all my projects, my current whips, and the to be stitched patterns I own. That will likely never be stitched, but it does have all my current whips and the fabric and the pattern and the artist and everything in there. So if you ever have a question about what I am stitching on and what fabric I'm stitching it on, you can always go and check that out. I think I might organize the to be stitched tab into like priority, like which one I think I'll do before I do the other ones. Which sounds like a really bad idea, because it'll just be like, oh, well, I'll just start it now. I don't need new starts. I have some new starts. We're going to talk about those next, but I don't need them, but I do want them, you know? So let's talk about those new starts. Both of them are from the Witchy Stitcher. I joined her Patreon, but only one of these is a Patreon pattern. The other one I bought during the Witchy Stitcher Day back in October. And yeah, so I started 2 of her projects. And then she did release another one. We'll talk about it in haul. I'll save it for haul. Okay, so the first one, let me make sure I'm putting it the right way. I started was Satan's Marshmallows, which I think is hilarious. Roasted marshmallows and things. So I started that one and I didn't get super far. It was on my March Madness bracket because I just thought it would be a nice new start, and I had all of the, like I had the fabric and all the, it was kitted up pretty much. So I was like, oh yeah, sure, I can start that. So I did, and I started with the border. So this is where I've gotten so far. And I will be praying to the border gods that it all comes together. But this fabric is an 18 count Aida Smoky Shadows from My Vintage Needle Arts. And then the only thread I've done so far is the Christmas Red, the 666. So that's part of why it's so much fun, because that's the color code for most of it. And there's a 666 in there too and everything. It's just, I think it's cute and clever. So that was one new start. And then my other new start is her Patreon exclusive, and the reason why I joined her Patreon, and that is the Nostalgia Tarot. So this is like it's, first of all, it's humongous. I think I filmed a video. I was gonna make a reel. I should do that, of how big this fabric is. It's humongous. I wrestled it into a hoop, and then I ended up buying another Q-snap for it. But this is the frame for it, is where she started, and then she's going to release cards just as she feels like it, I guess. She did return to work after her cancer treatments and stuff, so she's kind of like, I think she's trying to like take care of herself, which is amazing, and more power to her. So yeah, it's kind of just like a whenever, and I will look forward to it. I mean, this frame is going to keep me busy. It's massive. So I started with the letters up at the top, and this is where I'm at. So I was working on this last night for the second day of my March Madness. Not the second day, but for the second time it came up in my March Madness. And so I started on the T and got that. It's 200 some stitches or something. But that's all I have done on it. And it's like got like the fabric tied to the bottom. Like it's a little bit of a mess. And I got my little crystal needle minder. Can't remember where I got it from, but yeah. So that is Nostalgia Tarot, and it's really fun to stitch. These letters stitched up really fast, and that's probably the last thing that's gonna go fast. Everything else is like a little butterfly and a smiley face, and then the borders are like a rainbow. The borders of the cards are like rainbow, and you have to stitch each one. So yeah, it's a labor of love on this humongous piece of fabric. Humongous. Okay, so those are my only new starts. I didn't have any finishes or anything. So yeah, the next one is my whips, and the first whip we're going to talk about is Heart of the Winter. It's by Little Dove Stitches, and I have done all the other ones, and she is currently stitching up another one that's got like sunflowers, and I don't know, it looks really cute. So I'm very much looking forward to her releasing that. I think she said like at the beginning of April she's gonna release it. I don't know, but I've seen it on Instagram and I'm very excited. I need to do the Christmas one too. But yeah, let's finish what we started in the first place though. So this is what it looked like last time I showed you guys. And this is where I am now. So I finished this blue for the hearts, and I just need to do the white in there. I finished these trees except for the white that goes in them, and started the roof of the house, if you can kind of see it. I know it's like hard, the white on the gray, but there's so much white on this page. Like there's 1,000 some stitches of white. I think I still have like 840 left. So there's a lot of stitching left to be done on that page. And yeah, but it's still looking so good. I'm so excited. It will be done eventually, just not as quickly as one would hope. So the next one is Deathly Hollows, which I have it all up in my hoop right now, but it is a pattern by Thread Geeks and the art is by DJ Vigo, and it's beautiful. I've been working on it. This is my focus piece for the year. I really want to finish it by the end of the year. Getting 3,100 stitches, 3,100 stitches, yeah. Getting those done this month is very far-fetched, but I'm still gonna try. I took a picture of this one when I pulled it out of the hoop because I finished one of the pages, so I think I have 5 pages complete now, and I am continuing over to stitch to the end of the top. So this is what it looks like now. So that line is where the page stops, and then I had kind of like bled into this. So now I'm just completing it. There's like a big moon in here. It might go that way. I don't know. There's a moon in there somewhere. And then if you can see this little blue mark up here, that's supposed to be the end of the chart. So I'm getting close to the one side of it. There's still a lot to go, but yeah, I'm really loving it. I love working on this one. This is the one I'm going to be working on today for March Madness bracket, but also it needs more work. So yeah, last weekend we had a huge snowstorm and there was like 20 inches of snow, and it was like wet and heavy and miserable, and I got so much stitching done because I literally couldn't leave my house. I like dug out a path down to the sidewalk. I dug out the sidewalk and my walkway so that I could get like deliveries. And then I left the rest of the driveway. I was like, oh my gosh, this is too hard. And then I only did my side of the driveway. My husband was out of town and I let him do his side of the driveway. And he was mad because I threw some snow, not a lot, but some of the snow I did throw on his side. But by the time he got back, it was only like 6 inches of snow and it wasn't that wet and heavy anymore, and he stopped complaining. So yeah, Deathly Hallows, I'll be working on this today. I'm very excited to listen to my audiobook and do that. All right, so my next whip is my Galaxy Temperature Stitch, which is by Climbing Goat Designs, and I got a little further into February. I'm gonna take this out so you guys can like actually see it. This one's easy to get in and out. I don't mind. But this is where it was last time. I think I was through February 10th, and I think I only did like 9 days, so I'm like through February 19th. But this is what it looks like now. And if you watched my last FlossTube, you'll remember that I was complaining about how the spiral wasn't looking very spirally, and I felt like it was looking like oblong. I feel better about it now. It's not like, I mean, it is like oblong weird, but you can see like the spiral coming through now. So I'm feeling better about it, but there was a hot minute where I was like, did I mess up? Did I really ruin this? But I didn't ruin it at all. I'm doing really great. Yeah, this is one that I stitch on when I am at the cheer gym with my daughter. So it's a nice little easy one to take along with me. Okay, so the next stitch is Tea Room, which is absolutely beautiful, and I am still super in love with this chart, but it's just a lot. Like, it's just so much. It's such a big project. And like when I look at the other projects that I have, like a lot of my Tilton Crafts and stuff, they're not even as big as this one is. So anyway, I did get to my 1,000 stitches on Tea Room. It looked like this last time. I feel like every time I show this though, you can't really tell what's happening. But this is where it is now. So all these parked threads over here, but there's a little under there. And I mean, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I do love it. But it's on a 28 count even weave. It's pre-gridded, which is awesome. Love that for me. But it's just been so tedious to get these 1,000 stitches done. Like, I have to have really good light. Sometimes I use my magnifier, and my magnifier is really cumbersome to work with, like when I want to sit at the couch. And yeah, so I think now that this one has 1,000 stitches, it might go away for a little while. Like, I'm gonna take it out of the Q-snap. Don't tell anybody. But yeah, I'm not UFOing it. It's not a UFO. It's just a UFO for now. You know, a UFO-FN. You know, a UFO-FN. UFOing for now. So yeah, it's just a lot. It's just a lot. And there's so many other projects that I want to get more progress on. So yeah, this one, sadly, you won't see for a little while. I say that, and then like 3 months from now, I'll be like, oh my gosh, I did a zillion stitches on this one. But for now, I think the plan is to set it aside. It's just a lot. My next one that I have on my notes, but there are 2 other ones I could show you, is Schitt's Creek Landmarks. And this is another one I would love to finish this year, but it's kind of second priority to Deathly Hollows. But this one is by Stitchy Time Designs on Etsy, and this is what it looked like last time, if I haven't shown you yet. And this is what it looks like now. So mostly have been working into the vet clinic over here. I think in my last video I told you guys I fixed the mistake. I'm back on track now. So that's been good. But yeah, working on page 5 right now. It's looking pretty good. Loving it. This one's like super easy to do. There's like no brain power involved. It's perfect. And I think in a couple days this comes back up on my, what is that called? On my March Madness thing. So there's a dog like losing it outside. But it does come back on my March Madness bracket. So it will get worked on again this month. Okay, really fast. 2 little projects that have been sadly neglected. This one was on my March Madness bracket as well. So that's Biscuit Mill, which is by Modern Folk Embroidery. And it is my F1 stitch. There is technically an F1 race this weekend, so I might work on it a little bit, at least get like the 200 stitches done. And yeah, but I'm not going to take it out of the Q-snap. It just lives in this Q-snap. But this is on an 18 count Ada from Picture This Plus, and I think it's sand. I don't know. This is why I made this spreadsheet. Go and find it. But yeah, this is what it looks like now. So I think I just did a little bit in here. I don't know what it looked like the last time you guys saw it, but last time I stitched on it, I did like 2 of these little blocks. But it's super cute. I absolutely love this fabric, and I absolutely love the thread that I'm using. It's Monkey Grass by Weeks Dye Works. And yes, I am loving it. And the last one is my little cats and plants. So this is like one that I work on every now and then, and it's kind of like a filler project when it's like, oh, I need an extra project to work on. Well, I'll just pull out cats and plants because there's 6 of them in the pattern. So I'm working on this little guy. He kind of looked like a skeleton the last time, and I've kind of filled him in. He looks less skeleton-y now. Oh, I gotta roll up here. But there he is. He's very cute. And he's in a little plant. Looking less skeleton-like, which is good. he's got like some pupils now. So yeah, I worked on this one. It was on my March Madness bracket. So yeah, I just show it to you guys. That's what we're supposed to be doing here. We're supposed to be showing you the things I'm working on. So that is all of my whips. And I mean, that was almost a whip parade because that is literally all the projects I'm working on. So I feel like I'm always doing surprise whip parades, you know? Okay, haul. Again, I did terrible. So for the Witchy Stitchers Patreon, we got this pattern, which is Hug Your Brain today, and it's so cute, and it really, really resonates with me because sometimes my brain is just all out of sorts and it needs a hug. I always am asking my husband for hugs. I'm like, can I have a hug? Like, I just need a hug. So I did get that pattern. She also is selling some merch with it on there. So she had some mugs, stickers, postcards, one of the little glass cups, and I ordered a glass cup, and it's supposed to get here today. So if I get it before I edit this all together, I'll put a little video in there of it. But it's, I'm really excited. It's just cute, and she made them all by hand too. So she's amazing, and thank you so much. I love it. So yeah, that was the Patreon stuff that we got this month from the Witchy Stitcher. Then I bought 2 charts from Tilton Crafts because I was like, oh, what's new on Tilton Crafts? And 2 charts. Actually, one was a new chart. The other one was a chart that I just had my eye on, and I was like, why not? Maybe it was on sale. So I got Atlantis Reborn, which is one that she shared on Instagram like a while ago. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. I love it. I want it. So I got it. And then the other one is Art Nouveau Lady, Woman, something like that. And she is also gorgeous and amazing. She's kind of like my Moe and Shandon ladies. Different artists though. I can't think of who it is. It'll be on the spreadsheet. But yes, I am really excited about those 2 charts. Eventually I will stitch them, but that's one of the ones that like made me realize that Tea Room is just insane, because like the Art Nouveau lady is 300 by 300 and the Atlantis one is like 300 by 350. Like, they're big, but they're not like impossibly big. So yeah, it kind of made me reevaluate my life just slightly. Also, I love a sale, and the Stitch Patterns, who has a ton of patterns of mini masterpieces, so art masterpieces, and they were selling their bundle online for like really cheap, so I bought that. And there's a lot, and then it also is like any future masterpieces they come out with. So yeah, it's a lot. And my idea for these though, why I bought them, was because I thought it would be cute. They're really tiny, they're really small. I thought it would be cute to like stitch them up and then like just go leave them places like my doctor's office or really anywhere, you know. Like, I just thought it would be kind of fun. And like maybe put something on the back of like, oh, hope you enjoy this handmade item. You know, I don't know. I thought it would just be kind of cool. Leave it at the library, leave it somewhere. Maybe not like at a Target or something, but just somewhere to make it fun. So we'll see whenever I get into those. There are a couple that I do want to stitch for myself because there are some art pieces that mean a lot to me and my husband. So there are a few that I do want to stitch for myself, but I thought it would be cool to just kind of like leave them around. Like those painted rocks, but stitches. It also came with a bunch of their mini cities, so I thought it would be fun to stitch a bunch of my mini cities that we've been to for our traveling. I thought that would be kind of fun. We have like a big world map in our living room, and maybe it would be fun to kind of like put those on there or get rid of it because it's like just a generic piece of art. Put some other things there that are a little more personal to us. And then I mentioned that I got a new Q-snap. It's like an 11 by 11 Q-snap. for the Nostalgia Tarot project. And then my mom was like, oh, I have one of those in my basement. Well, next time I need one, I will be raiding my mom's basement. She doesn't like to use the Q snaps, so because she uses like a book light that I got her for stitching, and the book light doesn't hook onto the Q snaps, so she usually just uses a hoop, which is fine, but now we know. I also got some Sullivan's Easy Guide ball tip needles, and I've heard that these are good for stitching on black fabric. It came with two. There's only one in there right now because I pulled one out to use it and then I forgot to use it on my temperature galaxy stitch. And then I was like, oh, and then when I work on Nostalgia Tarot, I'll pull it out and I'll use the other one on that. And I forgot. So yeah, I'll let you know how I like them once I actually use them because I haven't used them yet. And then speaking of like buying patterns and never finishing them and it being a very large and daunting project, Chrissa Bug on Thread Geeks is where a lot of her patterns are. She has a ton of artwork with Thread Geeks and it's all just beautiful. I don't know if you remember, but I bought Artemis from her from Thread Geeks and I absolutely love it. And now I follow her on Instagram. And it's just, it's a problem now. Now it's a problem because I want all of her like Art Nouveau looking or Art Deco looking goddesses. So like she just released Goddess of Love. What's her name? Oh, it's called Birth of Venus, I think. But it's so pretty. And I'm like, oh, I want that one. And then I was like, well, I might as well get all the other ones. She's got like Freya and there's a Persephone one, but I don't think it looks the same as the others. But there's a bunch. And so I was like, oh, maybe I'll just get all of them and I'll have like a little like series to do. But it's a lot. There's a lot of them and they're big. But they're so pretty. So I might just end up going to her website and like buying prints and not stitching them and just having them a little more instant gratification than what I'm used to. But they're all so beautiful. If you like that kind of art style, definitely go check her out on Thread Geeks. Also, I am preparing to do a stitch for my brother-in-law. They had to put one of their dogs down last year, and I was going to make the rainbow bridge that is from Bad Stitched on Etsy, and I wanted to she has it kind of like in a dark blue, like starry looking fabric, so I thought it would be cool to do it kind of like in a galaxy fabric, but I kind of wanted more like purples and blues and maybe some pinks. I don't know. I have a couple that I found that I like, but if you have any suggestions on a good galaxy Aida, I do not want a printed Aida. I don't like working with printed Aida. So any kind of dyed galaxy looking fabric, that would be awesome. I don't need very much. It's not a very big stitch, but he likes the idea, like, so I'm making like a space vortex as the gate. It came with a bunch of different gates at the end of the rainbow bridge. And he likes the idea that Snowball is like floating in space or something. My sister mentioned something about it. And so I was like, oh, perfect. I will go get a spacey fabric and make it look spacey. So anything like that. And I definitely don't want it to be sparkly. Iridescent or whatever it's called is not my friend. Opalescent? Yeah, no. No sparkles, no printed, just regular. And I'm open to Aida or even weave in any count. So yeah, 18 is my favorite for Aida. 25 is my favorite for even weave. And now we're on to future plans. I feel like I shared a lot of my future plans in my talking. I don't even know why I have this section most of the time because I feel like I talk about it during the whips. But I am going to keep stitching on my March Madness bracket. If you want to keep up with my March Madness bracket, I've been doing a couple update videos every now and then, not a ton of them. And then you can also, if you want to follow along like with real updates, because I do update it every day, there's a link below to my bracket, and see who will be the winner. I'm getting through the final 8. Yeah, I'm getting through the final 8 right now, so we're gonna have the final 4 soon. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what will win. It depends on what day that project lands on, because if it's a day I have a lot of time to stitch, then it will get a lot of stitches. If it's on a day where I don't have a lot of time to stitch, then it's not moving on because I just don't have the time. So really, it's not exactly like a competition of who's getting the most stitches. It's a competition of who landed on the day I had more time to stitch. So yeah, if you want to check that out, there'll be a link below. Otherwise, I've been doing a couple little update videos. You might have already seen one. I'm wearing the same thing. It's fine. It's fine. I have gotten a lot of stitches done this month, but I just feel like I haven't really been stitching a ton. But I have. I don't know. Maybe I just have too many projects now and I need to stop making new starts and focus on what I have. Says every cross stitcher ever. Every knitter ever. Every crocheter ever. You know, we always say we're going to do what we have, but there's always room for new stuff. Always room for new stuff. Especially because most of my patterns are PDFs and they just go live on the computer and my iPad and it's not taking up space. But anyway, that is all that I have for the stitching stuff for you guys. So if you only came here for the stitching stuff, you may go exit to the right through the gift shop, and I will see you in the next update video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like, and if you want to see more updates, hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any. And now we are on to the chill stuff. I feel like I have chill stuff amnesia because I don't remember what I've been watching. I remember what I've been listening to because there is a log in my phone, but sometimes like Netflix and stuff don't have like a list of your previously watched stuff. They have like a continue watching, and sometimes Netflix has the watch it again, but there's nothing like saying like, this is what you watched this month. If there is, leave me a comment and let me know because I want to know that information. But anyway, I have been listening to audiobooks, obviously, lots of them. I did finish All This Twisted Glory, which is by Ter Mafi. I don't know if I say that right, but excellent book series. This is the 3rd book, and of course, I was complaining about it last time, how like it felt like it was really slow and nothing was happening. And then of course the last couple chapters it really picks up and it's like super exciting now, and it all just like ended. And I was like, seriously, you're gonna leave us like this? And I thought it might be the last book, but I went straight to Google afterwards and they were like, no, she's writing more. And but this one just came out at like the beginning of February, so I doubt it will be anytime soon. But I have plenty of other books to keep me sated until then. And I had dropped listening to Immortal Longings while I was listening to that one, and I went back to it and I couldn't get into it again, so I just decided to leave it. And yeah, I just it was fine. It was meh. You know, it was a little hard to get the world and stuff, but it's fine. I just didn't want to finish it. There's other things to do. And that other thing to do was listen to A Court This Cruel and Lovely, which is by Stacia Clark, I think. And that was amazing. If you really like A Court of Thorns and Roses, you'll like this book a lot. It kind of, same vibes, you know, but there's a little more magic involved. It's good. I really enjoyed it. And then at the end, I was like, oh my gosh. And I went straight to the library to see if they had the next book, but it's like the last hold on my hold shelves right now is like, I won't get it for another, like, I think it says 10 weeks or something. But you never know. With the library, it rains. When it rains, it pours. And all of a sudden you have a crap ton of books and you don't know what to do with them. I did get one while I was listening to A Court This Cruel and Lovely. And I was like, okay, well, I'll send it back. And now it's like my second to last hold. I'm like, come on. They're like, you'll stay at the front of the line. You're not at the front of the line. You went back to the end of the line, probably. Maybe not the end, but you went back a couple, for sure. But anyway, A Court This Cruel and Lovely was absolutely lovely. I really enjoyed it. I couldn't put it down. It was like one of those things where I was like listening to it while I did everything. Like I just walked around the house with my headphones on. And laundry, dishes, because our dishwasher has been broken for like a couple weeks. We finally got a new one installed and everything, but I was hand washing all of our dishes, and which with 3 people is not an insane amount of washing dishes, but it is a lot of washing dishes. So I listened to it a ton and I finished it really fast. So I'm so excited for the next one to come. I think the first one on my holds list is the next book in the Persephone and Hades series. So that one's always been interesting. Weird as far as their relationship goes, but interesting. I enjoy it. So whenever I have like holds on my hold shelf and I don't think I'm going to get anything anytime soon, I'll go get one that is already like available right now. So I am listening to the X Hex, which I actually own as a physical book and I haven't read it. That was available right now. And I was like, sure, why not? And it's a super cute little cheesy rom-com book. It is spicy, but it's nice. I like it. It's a nice little like fluff piece, you know. Nobody has a weird name. There's not some like crazy realm that you have to imagine. It's just like, I don't know. It does say it takes place in Georgia, and I am like hardcore imagining like Pacific Northwest vibes. But then he keeps saying that he went to Atlanta and this is Georgia, and I'm like, I don't see it. I see it somewhere else. So I just ignore that fact, and I'm setting it in the mountains of, because they do say the mountains, and I'm from Colorado. We have real mountains. I don't know what kind of mountains Georgia has. As far as I'm concerned, not really any. And they're all into like Halloween and stuff. I don't know, but yeah, it's like Pacific Northwest, Maine, like up at the top ends of the country is where I visualize it more. So I promise I do other things besides listen to audiobooks. I finally finished the last season of Upload, the 3rd season of Upload on Prime. If you haven't seen it, it's very interesting, and I kind of like the first season better, but this season, like a lot of the characters had a lot of like things going on that was very interesting. And it's kind of funny towards the end, and yeah, it's a good one. But it's basically like if when you die, you can upload your consciousness to like a server basically, and then you live this like artificial life, and if you have a lot of money, then you can live in really nice places, and it's like retirement all the time. But if you don't have money, then you end up in like not great places, or you just end up on a hard drive and you don't really have an afterlife. So it's very interesting, and it's a really good one. I would recommend it. Like I said, the first couple seasons, the first season is good, the second season is meh, the third season is good. But yeah, I feel like a lot of things go that way. The second season always, they have a hard time finding their feet, and then they take off again. So I don't know when another season is coming out, if there's another season coming out, because they are always canceling the shows that I like. So my husband sometimes, I mean, he works a lot and he's out a lot. So not like out, like he's just out in the world a lot. So when he comes home, I usually let him pick what he wants to watch on TV. And so he started watching The Gentleman on Netflix, and I think I came in at like episode 3 when I started watching with him, but it was really good. It was an interesting concept, but very plausible for sure, and I really liked it. People are funny, good looking, there's great fashion, and mystery and intrigue. It was good. I really enjoyed it. So if you haven't watched it, if you've been living under a rock, because I feel like so many people have been talking about it, The Gentleman on Netflix is excellent. And then there's a bunch of new things that have come out on Netflix that, like, just recently, like in the last week or something, there's been a bunch, and there's a lot of things I want to watch. So I will keep you guys posted about those. Some of them are documentaries. I was talking to Hoops and Crosses over in the UK about one of the documentaries, and yeah, so there's a lot of things to watch, and I am excited about watching a lot of those things, but some of them I'm like, I gotta be in the right mood for some of the documentaries, and so we'll see how I'm feeling about all of it. But that's all I have for you guys, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, then go ahead and leave it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more updates about my stitching and updates about what I'm listening to and watching, then hit the subscribe button, because then you will know. It will pop up on your feed, my beautiful face. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye!